Hi everyone, I am Ehsan. I am an engineer at Intel and I create videos on how to be productive at work. Recently, I read this book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. This is a classic productivity book and I distilled it down to 5 tips that we can apply at work to be more productive. So in this video, I'm going to talk about them and hopefully by the end of the video, you can apply at least one of them at your work to be more productive. I'm going to start with the time management matrix because that's what he have talked about a lot, and then go to the 5 tips. Let's just start with the time management matrix, which is basically a 2x2 cell, which on one side you have the not important and important tasks, and on the top we have the urgent and not urgent tasks. So what Steven says is every task that you do, including watching this video right now, goes inside one of these boxes. So we have the important and urgent tasks that what he says is to do first, and we have important not urgent tasks that you better to schedule, and we have the not important urgent tasks that you better to delegate, and the not important not urgent tasks that you should avoid doing in the first place. So now that we know this matrix and we know how to react to every task that goes inside each box, let's go to the tips. Tip number 1 is stop confusing busy with effective. So if you ask someone at work, how's the work, and they say I'm busy, to me that means most of the time they spend their time reacting to the urgent things. And sometimes it's like not real urgent. It's like a pseudo urgent. It's urgent to other people, not you. So they spend most of their time inside this first column, the urgent column. So it's important urgent, not important urgent tasks that you are just reacting. You don't have any time for yourself to do something meaningful for those assigned tasks. So you just react to the other people's requests and you are reachable at all time. And if that's you, you are busy. You are doing something, but it's not a meaningful thing for you. You finish your day and you ask yourself what I did today, because you don't own your own time. Now, on the contrast, how the effective people are doing their job is to schedule the tasks. So if I go to the second slide, which is now the effective people, how they do their job is they spend the majority of their time on the green box, the important, not urgent tasks, because they know at some point in the future, these tasks become urgent. So they schedule it and they put it on their calendar and they focus to do that first. And that goes to the tip number 2, which is scheduling the important but not urgent tasks on your calendar. And you probably have heard this a lot. Everyone in the productivity space is talking about putting the things that you want to do on your calendar. But that alone doesn't help you to do the task. Because if you, let's say, have a project to work on and you put that giant project on your calendar as a big block, you are not going to finish it. So you have to break it down to the time that you can dedicate that time and intentionally work on it. Otherwise, if you put a giant block and it's all about the big project, you are not going to finish it. So what I do, I break it down to some tasks that I can do during the time and it's doable. If I put a task that I can't finish during the allocated time and I just go to the focus time and I can't finish it, so that's just not productive. The other thing is when I know that I have to go to a focus time and do a portion of a project, I know it's going to be difficult to start. And that's just the reality of it. And that's just something that most of the people that talk about the time management miss. They say, put it on your calendar and you are going to do it. But you know that doing the work is difficult because by the end of that session, I'm not done with the project. I just finished a portion of it. And at the end of the day, I'm still thinking about the project that I haven't finished. So the metric that I have in mind is finishing the project, but that is wrong. That shouldn't be my metric. My metric should be, I broke down this project to the small tasks and I put it on my calendar, and now I know by the end of the week or next week or 2 weeks or this quarter, depending on the project, I can finish it. So that should be my metric. My metric should be the small tasks that I do every day towards that project to finish it. So that should be my metric. And I know that I shouldn't be reachable during these high focus sessions. And now let's go to the third tip, which is scheduling the skill development sessions, which is a one-on-one with yourself to improve on some sort of skills. So what Stephen called in this book is sharpening your saw. So someone was cutting the trees with a dull saw, and someone else saw him and said, you better to stop working and just sharpen your saw. You are going to be more effective. You are going to cut more trees after that. But the person said, no, I don't have time for that. So this is where you have to do some one-on-one with yourself and put it on your calendar to improve on some skills. And if it's needed, you better to communicate this with your manager or your boss. Say, I'm spending my time on doing this kind of skill development. It's going to be anything. Maybe you are working on some SQL development skills or Python or any sort of skills that helps you to be more productive. If you are repeating the same task that you do every year, you might miss something. You might do something that if you spend some dedicated time to improve, you can be more effective, or you can make some documentation to delegate it to someone else. So put this on your calendar and treat it like a one-on-one with yourself and try to develop those skills. And now let's go to the fourth tip, which is delay solutions, understand first. So what means here is every time we have communication, it's a two-way channel. It's not someone tells you to do something and you just go and do the task. You need to explain back what they mean and what win means to them. So let's say there's someone explaining, okay, can you work on such a project? Or someone says, can you do this? You are gonna just rephrase and give it back to them. Say, okay, I'm gonna work on this, right? And if I do this, we are good, right? We have reached the goal. So you are gonna show them what the win means and what the problem. You just restate the problem back to them. Otherwise, and I have seen this firsthand, if you don't do that, you are gonna do your work and you come back and you present and you have gone on the wrong direction. You did something, but it's not something they meant. And at work, they call it miscommunication. So this is why this is very important to restate the problem back and show them what the win looks like. And then you both would be on the same page. So this is very important. And now let's go to the fifth one, which is having one meaningful win per day, which Stephen has called it MIT, most important thing. So you just write it down on a piece of paper or a sticky note and put it somewhere that is visible to you during the day. For instance, like for me, recording this video was important for today. So I wrote it here and I'm just doing that right now. The thing that you write down as your most important thing, again, this shouldn't be your entire project. You can't write finish project X and just put it somewhere, because you know by the end of the day you are not able to finish that project. It has to be something doable. And when you do that, then you say, okay, I have done something towards my project, and that is my new metric. It's not finishing the project, it's just finishing the task towards that project. And I know if I do that during this allocated time, this session today, then tomorrow and next week, I can reach that project and I can be done with it. So you are just going to be realistic about what you can do during the day, and you just put it somewhere that you can see it. So I usually use digital stuff for planning, and I use my digital calendar. And when it comes to things like this, like doing one action, I think it's useful to write it down because it feels good, and at the end of the day I just throw that away. It's just has joy in it. And also I sometimes, for brainstorming, I use paper and pen. So it's like when I'm thinking about something, I think on the paper, and then I put it on my calendar. I put the time because I can change that very quickly. It's reachable at all time. And when I want to do it, like this example that I've shown here, I can just write it on a piece of paper and put it somewhere that I can see during the day. And at the end of the day, I can just say, okay, I'm done with this and I won the day. So these were the things that I learned from this book. And the last thing is I started a newsletter recently, which I'm going to send one email every week on Mondays. The email is called One Doodle, One Do, One Direction. And I'm going to draw something that I'm noticing during that week. And then I'm going to put some context into it, some action, one do, and then one thought that we can hold on during the week. And you can subscribe. I'm going to put the link in the description below. And you can also unsubscribe if you don't like it. So you can go and check it out. And also I'm going to put the link to the blog that you can see these emails over the week, and you can read them if you are not subscribed. And if you like them, then you can subscribe and it goes directly to your email. And that is for this video. Hope you learned something. See you in the next video.